If you start right now, where can you be in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, you know? There's like endless possibilities. I want to live, I don't know about you guys, but I want to live as long as I can, as healthy as I can. I feel more regret about buying it than joy for getting it or receiving it. It's hard for me to admit this because I hate that it went down that way, but I've not always been the best friend. Habits I wish I started sooner in my life. Hello guys, my name is Stephanie from Lifestyle by Stephanie, and my channel is all about fitness, health, nutrition and self-development, and today's video will be about self-development, and more specifically I want to talk about the habits that I now have or in the middle of acquiring that I wish I might had sooner in my life. I know I'm only 23 years old, that's not an old age, I'm super aware of that, and I don't really regret per se something because I know everything happens for a reason and I wouldn't be here without my past. But just as I was reflecting on habits that I have and I wish I had sooner and realizations I had, I thought it's worth making a video about it because maybe there's someone out there who needs to hear what I have to say and maybe find some inspiration and value in my experiences and the habits that I now deem as valuable. So without further ado now, let's get right into the video. And we're right back. So I actually got this inspiration from Tim, a fellow YouTuber, and he put all of the habits into 4 categories, which I will do as well. It is a quadrant and it is health, finances, relationships, as well as career. And first of all, I'd like to talk about the career aspect. I know some of you might think she's only 23 years old. What does she know about a career? And first of all, I want to say, like, everyone can talk about a career. There's no like age restriction on it. And for those of you who don't know, I started working when I was 16 years old. I did an apprenticeship, which is a very common thing here in Germany. I did an apprenticeship as industrial management assistant, not because that is my huge passion, but simply because I was 15 years old when I applied for the job. I was 16 years when I started, and it is something that is considered very safe here because I live in a state where it's basically an industry nation, and if you work in the industry you can make good money and you can like progress and go up the career path very quickly if you like committed. And yeah, that's what my parents told me is safe, what I researched and found as safe, so I went through it, and I don't want to say it was a bad decision by any means. I learned a lot of things and I feel like I've grown up more rapidly than my fellow 16, 17-year-old people from school who are just like went on to like further education, because I was like living the work environment. I was working in an office, I did uncomfortable phone calls, and I learned a lot of things. I grew up very rapidly, and it actually led me to a self-development path, to go to evening school and to get out of my comfort zone to now study abroad. So I basically went down the education path as well. But I don't really want to talk about like the normal career path right now, because I want to talk about side hustles, because I found this study that said 85% of people are unhappy with their jobs, and that is really sad because we spend so much time working in our lives. So I know you probably thought about this as well. To start a side hustle or to start something for yourself or work for someone where your passion lies. And I wish I started sooner to listen to my passions and to see the visions that I now have for myself and work on them, because it is hard. Like, I'm speaking on YouTube right now and I'm not saying that this will make me a huge amount of income anytime soon, but it's just something I wanted to give it a shot because I like the idea and the concept of helping people, of making an impact if I can with my message and my experiences, and if that makes me an income at some point, that would be awesome, you know. But I also invested 2 years ago now, I think, in a trainer's license. For those of you who don't know, I'm a certified Les Mills trainer. I couldn't work much because of Corona, but I hope to soon get back into it again. And yeah, so if you have a hobby, a passion, and there's this nudge of comfort zone left behind that you need to overcome in order to start a blog, to start an Instagram reel channel, to start on YouTube, or to maybe even start your own business. Like I started a print on I didn't start a print on demand business, but I got involved into a print on demand business a year ago, and I'm not saying it's working well. I basically have like 0 sales, but like it expanded my knowledge of how you can make money online, because there's so many ways. And if you have a passion, it's worth investing in it. It just might be that you do like an online course at uni, or an online course from some like person that you admire, in order to educate yourself further and actually work towards a direction in life that you want to be. I just wish I knew this sooner, so maybe that is something you might want to consider as well. Because if you think about it like that, if you start right now, where can you be in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, you know? There's like endless possibilities, and you never know when you don't start. So I hope this gives you some idea or motivation towards it. And if you think you need to be an expert at anything in order to like share what you know that there are always like people who know less than you and would like to know as much as you do. So as long as you keep on learning and keep on sharing what you know, there will always be an audience for that. I actually read a book, it's called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon, that really inspired me to be more present online and to share what I learned and what I know, and how this actually can be very valuable for other people, like his book was to me when he shared what he knew, you know, and it just like goes on and on. So the second category I'd like to talk about is health. And I want to divide health into 2 steps, into mental health as well as physical health. And I'd say that out of my own experience, that mental health is more important than physical health, because you can be physically as fit as you'd like to be. If it's not quite right up here, you don't have much from it. And that's why I wish I knew earlier how important it is to look after my mental health. To like, one tool I found that really helped me was meditation, because it's a way of observing what is going on in your mind. And I know it sounds kind of hoo-hoo or too spiritual for some people, but I feel like if I would have known it sooner, I could have spared myself a lot of drama, a lot of mental drama that I went through. So definitely meditation. And when it comes to physical health, there are 2 things I'd like to say here. First of all, it's probably something that everyone can guess. It's exercise. It's so important for us to exercise. We don't have to be marathon runners. I mean, I want to be, but you don't have to be a marathon runner to take care of your health. You can just exercise like 20 minutes a day, or just walk more and do like simple things for your health in terms of movement. But the most important thing that I deem for the physical health is your diet. I want to live, I don't know about you guys, but I want to live as long as I can, as healthy as I can. And there's been very strong research about the blue zones. If you don't know what the blue zones are, those are the zones, like the countries and the areas of people who live the longest, the healthiest, and they all have one thing in common. And they eat a mainly, I'm not saying a completely, but a mainly whole food plant-based diet. Meaning a lot of whole foods, which are rice, which are sweet potatoes, which are fruits and vegetables, as well as beans, so legumes, lentils obviously as well. And I wish I knew about this sooner, because I started implementing it as soon as I knew. I was like, one day after the other, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. And I changed my diet, and it is a big success and love story for me, because I thrived more than I ever thought possible. Not just like my skin got clearer and my body like slimmed down. I also got rid of an eating disorder. I also became more fit, and I feel like I have more purpose now for a diet, which is insane. But I will be talking more about this diet in another video. So If you never heard about the site before, you might want to give it a shot and see if it's something for you. And that's not me being biased and trying to like force a whole food plant-based diet onto you, but it's just, I see it as very valuable and it has helped many people a lot, including me. Now let's talk about finances, and I have to say I'm not an expert in finances, like not at all, but I've regretted not doing certain things about my finances sooner, and I thought it's worth sharing, although as I said, I just want to repeat myself, I'm not an expert. And the thing I want to share with you is not like investment strategies, because I don't know much about them yet. I want to learn. But actually like the mindset around money, which has changed for me a lot. I watched, I don't know when, but like a couple of months ago I think, I watched The Minimalists on Netflix, and that started my whole research. Like I'm also listening to their podcast and I'm watching their YouTube videos, etc. because I'm really fascinated about the idea of not necessarily becoming a minimalist, because I feel like although that is a really great goal, I'm like nowhere near it. I mean, this is my closet, you see what's going on here. But yeah, to like only have things in your life, like stuff that brings you value, that sparks joy. And to get rid of things and not even buy things that are just like hole fillers, if that makes sense. So I think that concept is something around love people, not things. And there's like so much like truth behind it, because the more we have clutter in our lives, or buy clutter, or are up for like, this is the newest iPhone, we have to get it, and this is the newest trend, we have to wear it. It's just like so much consumerism, which I think is not just like bad for the environment, but it's also like bad for our soul. And this might be too spiritual for some again, but I feel like when I started to really look at what I have, and I have a lot of stuff, like, oh my god, I see that like maybe like only 10% of the stuff I have brings me value. And instead of like being wise about it, what I now try to be, and like donating things that don't bring me any joy anymore or any value, or I just look at the stuff and I'm like, I can't get rid of you because I paid money for you, but I don't really wear you or use you. It's just like, it doesn't make you happy. And this is the mindset around basically consumerism that I'd like to share in this finance topic, to be more mindful about what you consume. And also when it comes to saving money, buy secondhand. I started buying my clothes now on apps like Vinted, which is basically an app where you can sell and buy secondhand clothes. And I've got so many like cheap used items that I now appreciate so much. Yeah, it's just a nice way of saving money and finding unique pieces, which I love. So I want to talk about relationships, and I don't want to talk about love relationships. That is maybe part of a story time in the future, but today I want to talk about friendships and the things I regret in my life, or wish I started sooner in my life, which is maintaining friendships. And it's hard for me to admit this because I hate that it went down that way, but I've not always been the best friend that my friends deserve. For me, like when I left school, and I don't want to be nostalgic or anything, but in school you meet your friends like almost every day. Like you catch up during breaks, you share what you did on the weekends, and you go on like adventures and stuff. And after school, when, like I said previously in my career thing, I went to work and they went to school, or they did other things, or did a gap year or whatever, I just lost contact with many of those people I really valued in my life. And it's mainly my fault, I think, and I can admit this now because I'm really trying to better myself and becoming a better friend. And I wish I took more care of those relationships, because it's just, yeah, it's just really sad. And I wish I could go back in time, like, and tell myself, hey, you like these people, be there for them if they need you. But yeah, we can always just learn looking back and not looking forward. So if maybe this is your wake-up call right now to go on WhatsApp or type the phone number and like call your best friend and say hi and ask how they're doing, because it's really important. And with this, my video of today is concluded. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it or like resonated with any of the points that I made. And if you want to see more around the topics of fitness, health, nutrition and self-development, and eventually some financial tips in the future, please make sure to subscribe. I post 3 times a week and I love to keep you accountable on your own health, fitness and self-development journey if you like. And until next time, I hope you have a nice day whenever you see this and wherever you are. Take care. Bye bye. In like bullet points. About this, those. I wish I could speak. Oh, geez.
The highway, far away, far away, far away. Every moment I was spending on regrets was such a waste, such a waste, such a waste. Looking on the city lights.